Hi guys, so in today's video we're going to take a look at average rates of change. Change in a particular quantity is often expressed using the uppercase Greek letter delta. For example, delta x would mean taking the final value of x and subtracting off the initial to work out what the change has been. The rate of change of one quantity with respect to another is found as the quotient of their changes. For example, the rate of change of x with respect to y would be found as the change in x divided by the change in y, delta x divided by delta y, or x final minus x initial divided by y final minus y initial. An important point to make about an average rate of change is that it is concerned only with the total change between initial and final values, and does not factor in how the changes occurred in between. So if, for example, you wanted to take your change in position throughout the day, from the time you got up to the time you went to sleep at night, you would start with your initial condition, which is you're in your bedroom at 8 AM in the morning, and then again at night, you're back in your bedroom at 10 PM at night. Now in this case, your rate of change of position would be 0, because there is no change between your starting and final positions. Even though you've left the room, gone to school, gone out with friends afterwards and come back, your average rate of change across the entire day is 0, because you've returned to the same final position as your initial position. Graphically, we can understand an average rate of change as drawing a straight line between 2 points. So if this was our initial condition and we're at a certain y at an initial x, and then our final condition is over here, it does not matter that in between those 2 points we have come out here and returned over there. The average rate of change will simply find the straight line between those 2 points. And if those 2 points have not actually changed at all in y, then what we would get is an average rate of change of 0, a flat line. And this shows how the idea of gradient is connected to average rate of change. So we know if we have 2 points, the gradient between them is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So the average rate of change between an initial point and a final point is just given by the gradient of the straight line between them. And we know that each of our y values is evaluated as the function at x, so this will be the function at x2 minus the function at x1 divided by the change in that x value, so x2 minus x1. And we can also consider this in the form, well, let's say we start at a particular value x and we make a small change h. So we'll have our function at x plus h subtracting the function at x divided by, and in this case we've set it up so that the difference between our x values is simply h. Now this outcome will be really important later, so please keep that in mind.